Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the blog. So today I've created a small UI UX tutorial for an online shop. So I've created a few screens. These are some of the important screens, and I'll explain you the UI UX decisions that I took along the way while designing this e-commerce shop. So first of all, we have this product page over here. So I haven't done all the home page and all category page and all those pages. I'm just showing you some of the important pages and what are the things that you need to keep in mind when you are designing such shop. Alright, so first of all, we have this menu over here, navigation menu, top bar, and the logo. So over here what we have is the account and the cart button, and then the menu button. Then over here, which is the main product page, we have this square image of the product, then the product title, and then we have this product options. So we are using buttons over here instead of using a drop down. So because for such products we are assuming that there'll be only maybe like 3 or 4 options. So in case if you've got more options, then you can go with drop down. But in this case, like we are going to only show them 100 gram, 200 gram and 500 gram. So this is a spice shop, and for all these spices we are planning to provide only 3 or 4 product variation options. So these we can show these options in the form of buttons, so that it's easier for user to click on the option that they want, and also they'll get the price over here, the updated price. So right now it's 500 grams, so we are showing 130. Let's say they click on 200, this will automatically get updated to 80 or 90 or something. Okay. Otherwise what happens is we have a drop down over here, then they have to click on drop down, then they get all this product variation, and when the drop down opens up, this entire screen gets blocked, so they can't see anything. So that is why we are going with the buttons for this product options. Then we are showing the price over here, and then again for the quantity input, instead of using the normal drop down, we are using this input box and then this plus and minus buttons, so they can easily add or remove items, like add or remove the number of items that they're buying. And then finally we have this add to cart. So a lot of the time what happens is people use this and then they inline this button over here. Okay, so instead of having 2 separate blocks, they try to fit everything in one line so that the space can be saved. But I personally feel that it's not very let's say easy to use. So what happens is you have this add to cart button over here. Imagine you're holding the phone and there's too much stuff going on in one line. We have this minus button, then this input box, then this plus button, and then this add to cart button over here. And what happens is, like, you click on add to cart, then if you want to add or update the quantity, you have to take your finger all the way to the left of the screen. Yeah, so like if you think from the user's point of view, you imagine yourself holding the phone and then you have got this design in your hand. See how difficult it will be for you to interact with those elements if they are in single line. So now it's always nice to have these things separately so that the user can easily access all the user interface elements that we have on screen. Okay, now the second thing that I want to show you guys is like, look at the spacing that we have everywhere. So if this is the cursor, like this is like the fingertip, So we need to have space between these elements so that the user doesn't accidentally click on something that he doesn't want to. So if you see over here, like we have a lot of space around this menu button, and then we've got this logo, and then again same thing for the account button and then the cart button. So it's very important to leave like a lot of breathing space around these elements, because when you're using on mobile and you've got too many elements, it becomes very difficult for the user to go through your product features that you have. Okay, so we need to try to make it easy for users so that they can quickly do all the tasks that they want to do. Okay, all right, so yeah, so again over here for these buttons you can see 500 rem, 200 rem. See, we have space, and the buttons are big enough, so they can easily click on these buttons. And again over here, so this is not clickable, so we need not worry. Now image you can keep as clickable if you want, and then maybe you can open a light box and show the different product variations, or you can allow the user to swipe these images. Then the price obviously won't be clickable. So the next thing is the input, quantity input. So over here, see the plus and minus buttons. So we have space between this quantity and this add to cart. Now if we place this too close to the cart, then what might happen is if the user is trying to do add to cart, you might accidentally click on this input or this input or this input. So that is why it's important to have space between all these elements. Okay, so this is the product page. Now I'll show you how the menu will look like. So this is how the menu will look. Okay, all these are aligned in one line. Okay, so all the links will be gray in color, except the one that is active, it will be black. Okay, so basically we are playing with the contrast over here so that user can understand which page they are currently on. Then the next page that we have is the cart page. So this will be like a drawer. Okay, so when you're over here, and if you want to quickly have a look what you got in your cart, you can click on this and it will take you to this drawer. Okay, this drawer will open up. So on this cart page we have all this, obviously we have all these products that the user has purchased or like added to the cart. And then in gray over here we have the subtotal and shipping and the total. Now this has got a white background and this is slightly gray. Now the reason we are doing that is because we want to have this section in such a way that this section gets more attention. Okay, so the user needs to know like the total amount that they have to pay at the checkout. So we are highlighting this part, and this part is in gray. Also we have kept this checkout button on the top. Normally what happens is people keep this checkout button at the very end, so all these products are listed first and then at the end we have the checkout button. So now what happens when you have got a spice shop or a grocery shop, people tend to buy a lot of products. Okay, so if you've got like 15-20 products over here, the checkout button will be all the way to the end, and then they'll have to scroll to reach that checkout button, right? A lot of the times what people do is they also instead of keeping it over here, they make it sticky and they stick the checkout button to the bottom of the screen. But I personally think that it's nice to have this checkout button on the top. Okay, so and by if you have all these things over here, it comes exactly like in the center, so this is the button that will get more attention and they can directly check out. Okay, and also if they want to review it, we can have this thing stick to the top so that they can review this products that they've added to the cart. Now if they want to remove certain product, they can click on remove over here and they can remove the product. Also, if you can see, we have enough spacing, so when they click on remove, they are not going to accidentally click on something else. Same goes for quantity. So now we have quantity over here. This is required, because we need to show them how much quantity they are buying. We can have this clickable, and so we can open a drop down, and from the drop down they can modify the quantity if they want. Okay, so we don't need to have those plus minus icons over here because that is very distracting. Normally once they've added something to the cart, they've obviously thought about it, so this drop down will rarely get opened. Okay, so and also, like, we don't want users to mess with this quantity once they have added something to the cart. Yeah, so yeah, this is how the cart page will look like. Now once they've added all those things to the cart and then they do checkout, we can show them this login screen. So similarly, like the previous page, we have this thing in gray over here, this thing, all other things on this page are on white background. So you can use any login option that you want, like social login or the traditional email and password login. I have personally chosen to go with the mobile and normal mobile login, where you just enter your mobile number, hit continue, and then you get an OTP, and then you can log in. Yeah. Also, another important point to note is that you need to have this thing below your login or sign up button. So this is required for GDPR basically, and it's a very simple thing that you need to add, and it says by logging in you agree to the shop's privacy policy and terms of use. So yeah, this is very important, guys, don't ignore this thing. Yeah. Alright, so once they've added the mobile number, we can show them the checkout form where they can fill up their personal details and the delivery address. And once that is done and they've placed the order, we can show them this order placed screen. Now this is another very important screen. So normally people ignore the design of this thank you screen, but even on this thank you page you need to add some value to the user. However, the two main things of this page are, like, you need to give them a confirmation that their order has been successfully placed, and the second is the thank you. Okay, you need to thank your users for choosing your shop. And what we have here is just the details of their order. So total amount, order ID, payment method, estimated delivery date. Let's say instead of Visa, if they have cash on delivery, we can show cash on delivery over here. And then this is their delivery address. You can improve this page further, like you can even offer your customers some freebie or some recipe book or something, so that while they wait for the product to arrive, they can go through the other stuff that can add value to them. So yeah, I think, yeah, so that's all. Just wanted to explain how the UI UX process works for a simple e-commerce shop. So if I have to summarize the key points, I would say try to pay attention to which portion you want to highlight more, and so that portion gets more attention and the user can quickly do the tasks that you want to do. Then have enough spacing between all these elements. Okay, it's very important to have this spacing. Then use consistent font sizes and the contrast. So the heading is in gray over here, darker version of gray, and this is light gray. Okay, again over here this portion is light gray, then we have this heading order placed, and this thing is in gray. Okay, so yeah, so that's all. If you guys want to have a look at it once again, so this is the product page. Okay, so these are the two things that are getting highlighted: 500 gram and rupees 130. And then there is this add to cart. See over here, the notification bubble is also, you know, pretty neat. It is not overlapping on anything like on most sites we see, like the notification bubble will overlap on the cart. So these are like simple design decisions that you can take to make your shop look neat and clean, I suppose. Alright, so this is the menu, this is the cart, login screen, and the thank you page. So yeah, that's all for today's video, guys. I hope you liked it. If you have any feedback or comments on this, do let me know in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.